Built to Last is brought to you by the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council Labor Management Committee and Armstrong Ceilings. Faster, easier, better. Welcome to Built to Last. I'm Mark Nilsson here in Elk Grove Village, Illinois at the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council Apprentice and Training Center. On Built to Last, we'll cover stories featuring the Mid-America Carpenters Union and its territory, spanning Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, and eastern Iowa. We'll explore a variety of different projects, whether they're working on a skyscraper or, like in this feature story, deep into the earth.
Well, right now you're underneath about 150 feet of rock and 30 feet of overburden in Rock City and Valmeyer, Illinois. Rock City is approximately 5 million square feet of abandoned limestone quarry that we are developing into warehousing, food storage, record storage, and hopefully a data center.
The town of Valmeyer, Illinois, sat along the banks of the Mississippi River. After the devastating flood of 1993, the town moved to the top of a nearby bluff, eliminating the flooding problem for good. For the town to be viable, it would have to buy the mineral rights to the abandoned limestone mine below it. Civic leaders from Valmeyer approached Joe Capias, a local developer, to see if he could come up with a plan.
We have a 200,000 square foot freezer here. The biggest in it is the federal government for the National Archives and Records Administration.
The work that we're doing now is just something outside the box. It's in the cave alongside of the bluff, and we are doing something we've never experienced before. We are using Union Carpenters because we are qualified, skilled, and able to do what is needed for this project.
The Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council members are here working now, and they're doing an excellent job. In this environment, they have to be a little more flexible. It's different than they would do in normal construction, but they are very adaptable and have done a great job.
That's it there. Now come on, rotate the top over.
The Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council provide the level of service, knowledge, and quality craftsmanship that we need to turn this facility into something attractive for the people that come in and lease.
It's one of the joys of being a Union Carpenter is we get to do different stuff on a daily basis. Every day we're doing something different. So today it's metal studs. Tomorrow we're actually going to be setting some concrete forms outside for the loading docks.
At first it's a little awkward. They don't know what to expect working about 60 feet underground. Once they get here and get acclimated, they think it's pretty cool. It is cool. It's about 50 degrees in here right now, 100 outside.
Well, that little crazy gizmo is called an octopus, and it is owned by the general contractor, and they're operating and putting it in place for our carpenters, who are basically sliding it into a track down on the bottom that's secured to the floor, and then also one track right now, but an additional second one later on. It's an easy build and design that just slips together with a tongue and groove system. Once we get the panel really close to vertical and set and safe, this machine will let go of the panel, and our carpenters will keep a hold of it and will slide it in.
We're building kickers to hold those walls up and bolting them into place. We're saw cutting floors and putting in drains just like you would foundation above ground. Really, it's just not being afraid to try new things and accepting new challenges, because it is a lot faster and easier to build underground once you learn what you're doing. With the help of the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council, we've been able to build out about 1 million square feet of space here. And that really helps us prove that it works and makes people much more comfortable and willing to move their companies and invest in Rock City with us. When we started this, a lot of people thought we were crazy and maybe we still are, but I haven't had anyone come to visit Rock City that hasn't said, wow, this is really impressive and can't believe you did this. And we feel very blessed that it's working.
Joe is a great person, and when I drove through here with him, I was just floored. And what he's done with this place and what he's brought it to, it's amazing, and he's an amazing person.
Armstrong takes pride in making a positive difference in people's lives. With the broadest portfolio in the industry and proven technical performance, contractors can install with confidence. Our ceiling construction expertise, training, and pre-engineered solutions make it seamless to transition from one end of the building to the other. Solutions like Frame-All drywall grid, including simple soffit prefabricated bend and click soffit framing, the faster, easier, better way to build from Armstrong.
Whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, community, or utility-scale solar systems, developers throughout the Midwest are integrating renewable energy systems into a variety of businesses and construction developments, and this demand is growing every day. The Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council are the skilled energy professionals in building and installing sustainable, precision-built structures, adding value at all the stages of construction.
They're able to look for key advantages that we might be able to implement to install them faster and better.
From solar arrays to wind turbine developments, the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council provides a professional, skilled, local workforce to build these renewable energy developments throughout the Midwest, providing the highest quality and safety standards in the industry. Insist on the best in delivering your project needs, on time and within budget.
Protecting the rights of workers is at the foundation of the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council. The council and its members were part of a recent effort that led to historic change for all workers.
The phrase right to work sounds great. I mean, who doesn't want access to a job? But don't be fooled. Right to work policies are anti-labor policies designed to take away worker rights.
Right to work, in my opinion, is basically means right to work for less. It allows employers to exploit workers. It hurts the whole economy.
Put simply, right to work allows employers to hire free riders, employees who don't pay union dues, but still receive union representation and all the benefits of collective bargaining. The practice is intended to weaken labor unions by requiring them to provide services for more people while decreasing resources. 27 states currently have right-to-work laws.
It's one of the worst things that you can have because it takes away your freedom. It takes away a worker's freedom to come together collectively on the job and fight for better benefits and wages and health care.
Back in 2014, Bruce Rauner tried to implement right-to-work zones in the state of Illinois.
And it was what we call a race to the bottom. We've just been eroding workers' rights throughout the state, one small community at a time, until it got to Chicago.
Rauner's agenda was ultimately defeated when the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council helped elect Governor J.B. Pritzker.
It was Bruce Rauner who tried to crush the labor movement and working people all across Illinois. Well, thanks to all of you, we beat him by the largest margin against an incumbent governor in Illinois history.
We galvanized our membership and organized labor to get him elected.
But pro-labor forces wanted to prevent right-to-work initiatives from being implemented in the future. In 2021, the Mid-America Carpenters joined forces with organized labor groups across Illinois to propose a groundbreaking amendment to the state constitution.
The Workers' Rights Amendment would allow workers in the state of Illinois to collectively bargain contracts. That's first and foremost. It'll give them the opportunity to choose the employer, have a more proactive say in wages, benefits, and working conditions.
Working with Gary was one of the best things of the campaign. Called him, said, Gary, this is what we have going on. He said, that's a great idea, count the carpenters in, we're all in.
Illinois voters would decide the fate of the amendment in the 2022 election, so education was key.
First of all, we had to educate our membership and help raise money to not only educate our membership, but to educate the public.
I think right to work has always been an intentionally confusing phrase for people, and so it was a really crucial part of our job on the campaign to make sure that we were talking about collective bargaining in a way that resonated with people.
What will the Workers' Rights Amendment do? A lot of good things. It'll put more money in our pockets and keep us safe on the job.
In states that protect workers' rights, workers make on average $11,000 more per year compared to states where they've passed that type of anti-worker legislation.
It's been documented that workers in right-to-work states have lower wages, very little health care, and a lot of times no pension. Job site safety is pretty much non-existent in most of these projects.
On November 8th, 2022, Illinois voters approved the historic Workers' Rights Amendment with 58% of the vote. Illinois is now the first state to explicitly prohibit right-to-work laws in addition to enshrining collective bargaining into its constitution.
I am so proud to be the most pro-labor, pro-worker governor in the nation. I said we were going to ban 3 words from the dictionaries of the state of Illinois, right to work. Well, today we're actually getting that done.
It not only helps the workers, but it helps the whole economy. When workers make more money, they spend more money. When they have better insurance, the hospitals get paid more money. When it's better working conditions, better safety on job sites, people can come home to their families and their friends every day without having to worry about accidents on job sites.
The benefits is 100% better than working non-union. I'm gonna have a good, successful life with a good, successful career, and I'm gonna have good insurance, good health benefits, and stuff like that.
18% of the Illinois workforce is under a collective bargaining agreement. But those 18% went out and fought for the other 82% of Illinois workers to make sure they have rights on the job. I think that says a lot about our mindset on taking care of, it doesn't matter if you're a member or not, we're gonna fight for you.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
Unions need a collective voice, just like workers do. We built the Midwest Coalition of Labor to bring unions together to provide valuable benefits beyond the health care and retirement that their members already receive. Because we know that with numbers, there is strength. Strength that gives us the purchasing power to negotiate the best supplemental benefits that our members deserve at the lowest cost possible. Because united we bargain, divided we beg. Contact the MCL to see how your union can join our growing coalition.
Welcome back to Built to Last. I'm Mark Nilsson. Being a member of the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council means a whole lot more than just working on a job. These proud tradesmen and women play active roles in their communities and are happy to swing a hammer to help worthy causes.
People weren't going to the park as much as they used to. I had just received funds from Missouri Foundation for Health for Healthy Schools, Healthy Communities, and part of my grant opportunity was to be able to put a park in place.
But first, Councilwoman Nelson needed a location.
I got in touch with my council person at the time, which was Ella Jones, and she took me over to Spring Valley Park. It was a small pocket park that really wasn't being utilized, and I saw kids playing in the street instead of in the park. It's in a neighborhood that's depressed,
and we just needed to do something for these children.
From there, it went from purchasing over $100,000 worth of playground equipment.
Once all of this was done, skilled tradesmen and women were still needed to complete the project. The men and women of the Mid-America Carpenters were ready, willing, and more than able.
Mid-America Carpenters were the best and the biggest part of putting together this park project.
They will help you at the drop of a hat. They will not ask you why or when or whatever to say, okay, lead us to the project.
That's where Mr. Sam Adams came in, who happens to be a resident in Ferguson Ward 1, my ward.
Mayor Jones came to me and we needed the park pavilion put up. So I brought the idea back to the regional council and asked, is there any way we can help? And of course, with open arms, the council jumped at the opportunity. With one caveat, I'd be the PM. Went through the prints myself as a project manager. I knew the components that need to be done. I just had to coordinate them in a way that can get the project done and also meet that deadline because they wanted the park open before the end of July. Once everything was in place, with carpenters, you just don't have to say much. You just say, hey, this is where we are, this is where we need to be, and they just go to work.
Members of the Mid-America Carpenters showed up eager to help, proving once again they are more than people who build for a living, but those who participate in and lead their communities.
They started about 7 o'clock that morning. They had to go pick up the pavilion from the Ferguson garage. They brought it over to the site and they just started working on it. When you go over there, it was a hill, and they went in there and dug that hill out and made a pathway where it's handicap accessible.
Mid-America Carpenters have really been beneficial in helping us put together this park. And to take time out of their schedules on the weekends to do this, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Giving back to places where we live and work has always been a part of the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council's mission, and that's especially true when it comes to underserved communities.
The Mid-America Carpenters, they're just great.
And the efforts of the Mid-America Carpenters giving back don't end there.
Currently, we're in University City. It's one of the municipalities in St. Louis County, and Habitat for Humanity has a Home for the Holiday project going on right now.
The Mid-America's Carpenters Union decided this was important to them. They believe not only in construction, but affordable housing and community. And so they signed on to this project, and honestly, it's kind of been a match made in heaven.
We provide the most critical piece of the project, and that's the enclosement of the roof, where we bring apprentices out, and in a day, they set the trusses, and they sheathe it and get it ready for the MEP and the electrical and all the other services that are coming into the house.
So Habitat for Humanity St. Louis builds between 15 and 25 houses every year. We train volunteers every day. We have a novice come out and work with us. So when Mid-America Carpenters come out as part of the apprentice programs or part of the training programs, it's really exactly what we're doing on a different scale.
With a little luck through the high visibility of volunteer projects like this one, these apprentices may even inspire others to seek out a career as a skilled Mid-America carpenter.
The apprentices, they get a chance to get outside while they're still supposed to be at school. They're still learning, but it allows them to see what the union stands for and gives them an example of the way that the union gives back to the communities.
We are a volunteer-based organization. We have a very small construction staff, so they're able to come in and get us days and even weeks ahead of the schedule where we would normally be.
People often see us on other areas and doing our jobs, but in this aspect, they're able to see us actually give back and use our skills to help the community that we live in as well.
Trade up. Right here? Right now. Working for a non-union contractor, I never got a pay raise. Now I get a raise every year working as a union carpenter.
No matter how many kids you have, you know, you're fully covered.
Every hour you work, money's going into your retirement, your annuity. For non-union, they don't have a school program, classes you can take.
You can take the commercial aspect of it, or you can go the residential.
Trade up.
Trade up. Trade up. Right here.
Right now.
Whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, community, or utility-scale solar systems, developers throughout the Midwest are integrating renewable energy systems into a variety of businesses and construction developments, and this demand is growing every day. The Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council are the skilled energy professionals in building and installing sustainable, precision-built structures, adding value at all the stages of construction.
They're able to look for key advantages that we might be able to implement to install them faster and better.
From solar arrays to wind turbine developments, the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council provides a professional, skilled, local workforce to build these renewable energy developments throughout the Midwest, providing the highest quality and safety standards in the industry. Insist on the best in delivering your project needs, on time and within budget.
The depth of brotherhood of the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council runs deeper than most people can imagine. In this Built to Last feature story, we meet a carpenter from Kansas City who found out exactly how strong the bonds of this brotherhood hold together after an unthinkable tragedy.
Coming out of the military, I kind of floated around and floundered a little bit, went to school, became a nationally certified firefighter, went on a couple job interviews, and the market just isn't there. Did carpentry and construction industry non-union for a while. Ended up working at a Home Depot.
We were at a point in our life where we couldn't afford for one thing to go wrong. I mean, 6 boys, there's a lot to take care of.
My father-in-law is a union carpenter.
He came up to me and he said, "I need to talk to you. I want to join the Carpenters Union."
That's when it all started.
And then when he joined the union, I mean, God, he was happy. That's probably the best way to put it. He was happy at home. He was happy in his job. He was happy with the jobs that he was doing, feeling like he was doing something that mattered.
February 9th, 2020.
I had just 4 weeks prior had major reconstructive knee surgery. I had a transplant, actually. And I was in a lot of pain. I mean, a lot of pain. And he looked at me and was like, "Hey, babe, you want me to go get you a treat or something like that?"
I went to a little neighborhood grocery market, pick up a couple sodas. I go in there, just set my sodas on the counter, getting ready to pay and, head out. When a guy came from my right, I helped the guy out. Well, as the owner of the store was complying and trying to open the cash register, he started shooting at him. So I grabbed the slide of his 9mm, get my hand caught up in the chamber so that way it won't engage anymore. I didn't know his buddy was standing right behind me. And he shot me down through my shoulder, and they ended up unloading on me, running out of ammunition and fleeing the scene. I was shot 14 times.
One of the bullets passed by his spine and nicked the vertebrae, which caused the spinal column to swell. There's a bullet still in him right next to his heart. Basically, they said there's so many entrance and exit wounds, we can't tell which one's which at this point.
The surgeon called. She was like, "I'm not really sure that he's going to make it through the night."
They kept me in a medically induced coma for 3 days.
Well, in sheer Derek fashion, he pulled through like a champ on Monday.
Sunday, I got a phone call from Big John, and he had told me that Derek had gotten shot. And I immediately, the next morning, grabbed some empty cans and took them to work. I told everybody what had happened. This is all I know, but we need to do something for him because he's the sole provider of his family.
I was scared, because I've got these little boys I got to take care of.
the amount of money that came in just from people here. Hey, I just got paid, here's 800, boom. And you're just seeing, stacks, and it's just people giving, just unbelievable.
Everybody that started to hear about the story stepped up.
I did have a lift put on the front of my house.
And the total cost was $0. And he had a note on there saying, because of what's happened to him and what action he took, the only right thing to do is to install this at no cost and no cost for the equipment itself.
My superintendent, Nate Henson, made sure that my cabinets were full, my fridge was full.
I would have had to try to figure out how to work or how to sell the house and move everybody, uproot the kids from everything they knew, their friends, their schools. I didn't have to do any of that. And the union is the biggest part of that for us. It was the constant checking in. It was the constant, what can we do? Guys taking the boys to go skateboarding and go do activities and things like that because I couldn't do a lot with my recovery. They really got us through the first year, making sure that we kept our insurance so that Derek could keep his therapies going, his medications going, his treatments going.
So Derek has made phenomenal progress, not always what is expected or usually what is expected when he came into the hospital. He couldn't move anything below his level of injury, which was at the thoracic level, chest level. So today he was walking with one lower brace on his left lower leg and nothing on his right.
He knows he's gonna walk. And with Derek, when he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it.
While his rehab was a priority, Derek still needed to work. The Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council came through for him yet again.
We had an opening come here in an admin position, and we thought he would be a perfect fit for that because we've always had the goal of having someone at our front window who could answer very specific questions about apprenticeship, which he could because he went through it.
I'm the intake specialist at the apprenticeship. I'm the first phase new apprentices C. I get to break it all down for them, answer questions, give them as much information as I can so that way they can go and make informed choices about their career.
If I was an apprentice, that would be the first person I'd want to talk to. Somebody who's been in the field, somebody who knows the job.
Being able to get back and be gainfully employed and back to providing for my family was a great feeling.
That's what we're about, is helping each other. And I'm glad for the opportunity to prove that mantra, that culture, that we are here for each other.
When you join the union, you join the family.
When one of us goes down, we rally. We do anything we can to help keep our brothers afloat.
Thanks for joining us on Built to Last. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Mark Nilsson. We'll see you next time.